Thank you. And what I could say about this is that Anouk's speech will become folklore. It will become legend. This was a very educational speech, and I want to thank you for that, Anouk. The organization was great, but what I really want to talk about first is the hand gestures. And Sterling noticed it right away. Your hands seemed so natural. They were great. I even heard you clap once to make a point. And that's super because that's something I could incorporate into my speeches. Clap, smile. You told us 5 things you were going to go through. Choose wisely, and so on. And as you described each of these, you went into some depth and described what each one of these 5 steps would be. Choose wisely, and gave a description of how to do that. ID and research. You talked about horizontal and vertical, and you talked about the width and then going deep. And you even gave us a tip for podcasts. Speed them up and they'll go quicker. Well, that only works if you're listening by yourself. If your spouse is listening with you, then you may have to slow it back down to the regular speed. Some other things. Like I say, the organization was great. You went through these 5 things. And at the end, you wrapped it up by reviewing what you had talked about. Just a couple things I want to mention. Before you started the speech, you were just kind of rocking a little bit. And you're so confident, you appear so confident. It may be just that you appear confident as you're speaking, but before the speech, maybe you have a little energy going on. So my suggestion would be just to take a deep breath, pause, and wait for your turn to speak. The other thing I noticed is that when you first started speaking, and I don't know why, the volume was a little bit low. And I don't know whether you adjusted the volume up, but after you got going, after the first, 10 seconds or so, I could hear you just fine. This is something that I think helps any speech becoming a winning speech, and that is to incorporate some humor. And it's a lesson that we all need to remember. And sometimes it's not that easy to do. And obviously your speech was an informative speech. You didn't have to incorporate any humor, but it's just a thought. And the one challenge I would like to present you with is to change your background. I don't know if your computer has the juice to allow you to do a virtual background, but if you could, do some slides in the background. That way you could have each of these 5 points verbally written down behind you, which would be kind of fun to have. Excellent speech. And it's really fun to watch your confidence and your speaking abilities grow. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.